Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for March 30th, 2023 from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. Well, it was a cold morning. I think it was 27 degrees when I left the house in the morning. Had to scrape some ice off of the car, and there was a layer of snow from that storm that we had yesterday in the late afternoon. And overall, just kind of a chilly day with a moderate northwesterly wind. Although throughout the day, a lot of the snow melted. So by the end of the day, pretty much all of the snow was gone just from the sunshine. But never really warmed up that much above freezing. And kind of a disappointing day overall as far as the Raptor flight went. I would say the only real highlight of the day was Bonaparte's Gulls. Had about 75 total in various small groups. So here you can see them. They're kind of a small gull, smaller than ring-billed. Very pointy wingtips, and you can see they kind of have a whiter section of outer primaries that just have black at the tips of the feathers. So a little bit of a distinctive upper wing pattern to them. Have a dot behind the eye. And later in the season, we start to see ones that have a black head as they get into that breeding plumage. The Raptor highlight of the day was 3 immature bald eagles soaring together in the morning, and here's one of them. And here's another immature bald eagle from that group. And I thought this one was kind of a neat plumage. It almost looks like it's got like a white section, almost like it's got a straight line and sort of a cutoff of the upper breast versus the belly. Just kind of a unique plumage. Just looks like an older immature, maybe like a 4th year type. Head and tail are starting to get pretty white, but still a lot of white throughout the wing coverts. Here's an adult red-tailed hawk, and the one benefit of that layer of snow was it was good for photography, as that snow reflects the sunlight up to illuminate the underside of birds. We see that this bird has dark patagial bars and a belly band that we see on all of our red tails. And it's an adult, so it has a dark trailing edge to the wing and a red tail. And this bird is kind of raggedy looking. It looks like it's actively molting. It's got some feathers growing in on the wings, it looks like. It's missing some tail feathers, so kind of interesting to see this molt pattern at this time of year. And so this bird really stuck out. Here we have a turkey vulture, and we had plenty of them yesterday, but I'm not sick of them yet. This one looks pretty handsome there against that nice blue and white background. So kind of fun thinking about the journey that these turkey vultures make, thousands of miles, and wondering where they're going and where they all end up, because over the course of a season we have 30,000 turkey vultures come through, and it's hard to believe that they spread out into so many different areas. And where do they all nest? The only red-shouldered hawk of the day was a high migrant, and you can see the pale crescents near the wingtip. Also that squared off wingtip shape and a little bit of that droop to the wings. Just overall a little more of a slender shape with a longer tail compared to big and bulky red tails. Here's a common raven, and compared to crows, I always think ravens just look a little more stretched out. It's like someone grabbed the wings and stretched them out. The wings look a little longer and a little bit more pointed. The head looks a little bit bigger with the big bill, and the tail looks a little bit longer. Since it was cold and there wasn't much happening, I went to my car to eat my lunch without my hands freezing. And while I was doing that, I saw these sandhill cranes fly overhead. And the one interesting thing is, if you look, only 2 of the cranes have their feet sticking out. All of the rest must have their legs tucked. It's kind of an interesting shape. This adult red-tailed hawk was hunting the marsh, and it looks like it caught some sort of small rodent. Here's a migrating juvenile bald eagle, so one born last year. We see that even trailing edge to the wing because all of the feathers are the same age, and starting to get pretty pale underneath as it molts in new feathers. Here's another look at a Bonaparte's gull. So again, we can see those really pointed wingtips where the black is only at the tips of the feathers, making sort of a black line compared with the outer primaries that make this really bright white pattern. You can see the dot behind the eye, and we can also see the leg color is kind of like a pinkish, maybe slightly orange. Here's one of the local osprey going by in the afternoon. And it came back maybe 15 minutes later with a big fish. If we take a look at the eBird checklist for today, I only had 53 species, so about 20 species fewer than yesterday. And looking at the HawkCount report for the migrant raptor totals, today we had 146 turkey vultures, 5 bald eagles, 2 Cooper's hawks, 1 red-shouldered hawk, 5 red-tailed hawks, and 1 American kestrel, for a total of 160 migrants. For non-raptors, we had 2 blue-winged teal, which was nice to see. I think I've only had blue-winged teal one other day so far this season. 2 pied-billed grebes that were pretty close. And also there was a canvasback and a long-tailed duck pretty close off of the end of the boardwalk, so that was a little unusual. Just some species we don't normally see up close like that. We had the 6 sandhill cranes, 75 Bonaparte's gulls, 2 common ravens, about 30 tree swallows, and 1 bluebird, which we're not getting very many bluebirds yet, so every one we get's a little bit of a treat. We had no new species for the season today. And taking a look at the forecast for tomorrow, it's looking rainy, high up around 50, winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour, chance of rain 90%. And it looks like the percentage for the chance of rain is highest in around the noon hour and into the early afternoon. So there might be a little bit of activity in the morning if it hasn't started raining yet. But overall, it's not looking like a great day. Other than having southerly winds, maybe we'll get some non-raptor migrants moving. But overall, I wouldn't expect much to be happening at the Hawk Watch raptor-wise, so not the best day for hawk migration. For Saturday, we're looking at windy with thunderstorms in the afternoon. Storms may contain strong gusty winds, high 61, so quite warm. Winds west-southwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. And I think that might be more of a southwest wind that eventually shifts westerly. So actually Saturday is looking pretty good now. Before they were calling for more rain, but now it's just saying like maybe some thunderstorms in the afternoon. So really the morning and into the noon time might actually be pretty good. My main concern would be just the strength of those winds. It's a super strong wind. But as of the forecast right now, I think birds will be moving. It's just going to be another uncomfortable day at the Hawk Watch where we're really getting battered around. And for Sunday, looking at mainly sunny with a high around 35, so much colder. I guess a cold front's probably coming through on Saturday, bringing those thunderstorms. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour for Sunday, so not looking like a very good day for hawk migration. Would only expect light migration. And keep an eye on Monday. Monday is looking like a pretty good day with southwest winds again. So maybe we'll have a couple more good days coming up as we're right in the peak of the turkey vulture migration. So I hope you can make it out soon to the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. From Lyco Birds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.